Hey guys, welcome to day 3 of the Community to Cash Masterclass series. And I'm so excited to bring it all together in day 3, where we're going to talk about the missing link in the Community to Cash model. And that is connection. Okay, so when we are building community, in day 1, we talked about what that actually means. What does it mean to gather people together? What's the difference between audience and community? And how can we really make that happen on different platforms in ways that, actually works for us? And then yesterday in day 2, we talked about why your community is not converting. What's stopping you from making selling easy inside your community? Why some communities thrive and some communities fail? And how can we make that better? And how can we use Skool to increase our community and make selling easy? Okay, so that was day 1 and day 2. Such good stuff. Now, in today's video, day 3, we're going to talk about the missing link in between it all, the connection, right? Because this is the piece that a lot of people skip. So people join your community, they see your content, they like what you do, and then nothing happens, right? Because you never actually connected with them. Because community is not the connection itself, it's just a way to make connection easier. Okay, let that sink in. I really want to pause here because this is the crux of the matter, is that a lot of people see your community as the connection when really it just makes it easier to create the connection. But the community actually isn't the connection piece itself. It's just the place where it can happen easier and faster than anywhere else. Okay. So when we're thinking about building community, I want you to, number 1, build it to sell from the very beginning. And I want you to build it to connect from the very beginning as well. I want you to have all these things in mind before you jump in and start building your community. Now, if you've already started your community and you're seeing the gaps here, that's totally fine. Not everyone knows this before they start their community, right? So I want to help you fill in those gaps because you still can. There's still time. Don't worry about that. Everything can be fixed, edited. Nothing is set in stone, especially when it comes to your community. So you can still fill in those gaps. But I want you to know what those gaps are. A lot of the times you may be in that day 2 situation where your community is not converting, you're not sure why. We talked about a lot of the practical reasons in that video, and now we're going to talk about how we can bridge those gaps and fill in those gaps and really make it work for you. So this is the good news, is that there are specific things that you can do that create real connection inside of a community, right? None of them require a big audience. In fact, it's better to start this when you have a small audience because it can get kind of overwhelming if you don't have that habit built in when your audience grows quickly. And it's not complicated, right? It's not complicated. The best things in business are the simple things that most people miss because they're looking for the magic bullet. They're looking for that complicated strategy when really it's the simple things that we need to do to make community and connection work better. So we're going to talk about 3 things that can create real connection inside your community. And like I said, it's not hard. It is something that you need to do, and it is a habit that you need to get into. So number 1, show up before they do. Okay. So most community builders wait for their members to come in before they start posting. And that creates kind of like another gap in itself, right? You build the group, you let people in, and then you sit back and hope that engagement just happens. And it doesn't work that way. As the leader, you need to lead the group. That means you need to be the one posting when no one else is, right? It's so much easier for someone new in your community to answer a poll or leave a quick comment than to actually leave a post itself because everyone's kind of like, it's kind of like a school dance, right? No one wants to be the first one to go out there because no one knows what are we doing here? Like, what are we actually doing here? What is the recommended format? What's the right way to ask a question? No one wants to be the first person out on that dance floor. So you need to be the first person out there dancing like you're crazy and actually showing people what it's like to show up in your community. So that means you have to go first. every time, every day, right? Every day. It is hard to create momentum, but it's very easy to watch momentum dry up. So you need to be posting consistently, daily. That means that you're the one creating posts, asking questions, starting polls, starting conversations, not occasionally, not every other day because you don't want to bother them or you're worried about them getting too many notifications. No, you need to be doing this consistently, and a lot. Your members are watching you. They're waiting to see what happens, right? They're waiting to see how you respond. They're waiting to see how others respond in the group. And to create an active space, you need to be active, okay? You need to put your energy in before they will. And when they see you showing up, they start to feel safe, they start to comment, they start to post. Now, this happens absolutely every single time, no matter where you're building your community, right? But it's really important to be the leader. So go live, post videos, make your comments, connect with people behind the scenes, share your thinking, your process, your wins, and your struggles, and ask them to respond. Okay? Sometimes we need to ask for the response. You need to tell them what to do, basically, because especially in a new group, they don't know how to act. So on Skool, this is really powerful because your posts actually reach your members in real time. We talked about that yesterday. Notifications are actually happening in real time. So people will show up, they will engage because they're being notified. And that feedback loop is what makes this community feel alive. Okay, so let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is really important. And again, these are things that might not always happen, you might not always think about, but we want to make individuals feel seen, right? Imagine that you are having a dinner party at your house and someone knocks on the door and it opens by itself. Like this has happened to me before. Has this happened to you? Someone opens the door and they just walk away and you're like, okay, I'll follow you inside. And then people are kind of talking or everyone's standing around. No one's really like having a communication and you feel unseen, right? You feel like, am I really in the right place? Is this what I thought it was? Maybe I should just go, right? If you're like me, then maybe you felt that a time or two. But this is the thing that separates communities that thrive and communities that just exist, right? Because people don't buy when they don't know what's going on, right? They buy from people that they know, people that make them feel seen. And that's the fastest way to create this feeling at scale is to make individuals feel like you can actually see them and you see them as a person, right? Not a number, not a dollar sign, but as a real person. So what does this look like? This looks like using people's names when they respond to comments, not just to tag them, but to show that you see them. It's responding to every comment, no matter how small, especially early on when you're trying to build momentum. It's remembering what someone shared last week and following up with them, restarting a conversation. Acknowledging new members publicly when they join, welcome them like you'd welcome someone into your own home, right? So this dinner party analogy is really powerful because it's the same thing. When someone comes into your house and they join the party, are you just going to walk away or are you going to say, hey, Adam, this is Sam. This is what we do here. This is what Sam does. Tell us a little bit more about what you do. You start the conversation, right? So you notice people who are showing up consistently and calling them out in a good way, right? We also send DMs because sometimes a public welcome is not the only way to show someone that you see them. Talking one-to-one is a really great way to build that connection quickly. And it's one of the most underused tools in any community is actually starting that person-to-person conversation. A simple, genuine DM to someone, hey, so glad you're here. What are you working on right now? Or however it works into your niche and what your group is about, it builds so much trust so quickly. Now, the great thing about Skool is that you can set it up to send a DM automatically. Now, this is a good thing, and it's also something to keep in mind that people know that this is an automated DM, so it still feels a little impersonal, right? So one way to combat that is to send that automatic DM so that you know something happens automatically, so they do get welcomed, but follow up with a real conversation, right? So you can tell, you can see who's joining your group when the members join. And so you can follow up like the next day when it works for your schedule, right? You're not sleeping, you're actually working, and you can sit down and message all the new people that came in since the last time. So it's super easy and it's a great way to make members feel seen, right? Now on Facebook, this has become nearly impossible because of all the spam problem that we talked about yesterday. But on Skool, DMs are open, they get notified, and you can even set up an automatic DM, like I said. The first touch point is already done for before you even open your laptop with that automated DM. So I do love that feature. You should follow up with a personal DM, right? And then give value that creates action, not just information. Yesterday, we talked about how we are not in the information age anymore. We are in the implementation age where it's action over content, action over ideas. Connection is not just emotional, it's also built when someone takes a piece of your advice, applies it, and gets a result, right? Then they feel like, oh, this person can really help me. They see me, they know my problems, and they can actually help. So that experience of I did what she said and it worked is one of the most powerful trust builders that can exist. It really makes someone think, if her free content did that for me, what would it be like to actually work with her at a higher level? So they value what you provide inside the community. And it shouldn't just be interesting, it should be actionable, right? So give people one thing they can do today, not a concept, but a step. And not just information, but clarity. And when someone joins your Skool group, you can do that, right? Inside the courses area, you can set up a Start Here course to lead people through some steps and some actions that they can take right away. The faster that they take action within your group, the more likely that they will stay and engage, right? So if you just come in with this action step and they've already been inside for a week and nothing has happened, it's good, right? But it could be better because you could do it sooner rather than later, right? People lose interest, they forget very quickly. You know, we always talk about this, how quickly people forget. So you want to make sure that these action steps are happening right away to build that habit of coming to your group, what it's for, and what they get out of it, right? And always, always, always bring it back to them. What do they get out of it? What's in it for them? Not you, not just you, not just getting them to engage for whatever, for any reason, right? What are they actually going to get out of it? So this is why low ticket offers are so powerful inside the connection space, is because it gets people taking action, it gets people results, right? And when people pay, they pay attention. So it's not just revenue, it really locks someone in to really taking that next step for commitment purposes. They implement it and then they get the result. And then that builds that connection faster, which makes selling easier. Bringing it back to yesterday, right? Community is where selling happens easy and fast because people know you, they like you, they trust you, they trust you. That is so important. So let's zoom out a minute and see how it all connects, right? So someone finds you on social media, right? That's cold. They don't know you, they don't trust you. They join your email list. They're a little bit closer, but sometimes people get lost in their email. I've seen other people's emails where it's like 1,000 unread emails or more. I'm an inbox zero type of person, so that's kind of painful to see. Then maybe they join your free community and they start to feel gathered. They start to feel like part of something, right? They start to feel what you actually do and they experience that connection. They feel known, they feel seen, and they trust you. Then they buy a low ticket offer. Trust is confirmed. They get a quick result. We're talking about fast, quick action here. They're a buyer. Buyers continue to buy. And then they ascend to your high ticket offer, the natural next step for someone who already trusts you and has already paid you. Okay. So those are the steps that we want someone to go through. And it's not as easy as social media, email, buy. right? It doesn't work that way anymore. Trust has been lost on the internet. We need to build it back. And the way we do that is through community and low ticket offers. So Skool is the perfect place for that because it is built for community and low ticket offers. Now, next week, I think it's next week or it's the week after, June 1st, I am starting the Sell on Skool challenge where I'm going to walk you through how to create your group built to sell from the very beginning. And I'd love to share my screen and actually show you everything that's included. So let me go ahead. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so I am currently sharing the Sell on Skool 5-day challenge. Okay, so you can join for just $33. This is a live workshop where we work together from June 1st to June 5th, Monday through Friday, to create your Skool ecosystem, to turn your audience into recurring revenue and buyers. So you can go through, the link is going to be in the description, so you can go through and read this yourself. I'm not going to go through and read all of it, but the ecosystem, like we talked about, is tier 1, your free group, your lead machine, right? Tier 2 is your low ticket membership where people start to buy and to pay attention. Tier 3 is your high ticket without the hard sell. So we're going to go live daily at 1 p.m. Eastern, June 1st through 5th for this workshop. Replays are included, of course, and you get to keep them. This is a live hands-on workshop. So if you have questions about, should I do this, should I do that, you are going to get my exact one-on-one feedback on the calls so that you don't have any confusion about what you're creating. Now, this is for you if you already have a Skool group and you want to make sure it's built to sell. Or if you are new to this, it works the same way. We're going to go through step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this works for you if you do not have a Skool group yet and you want to start one. So if you've been thinking about growing a group, if you've been thinking about starting a group and you've been thinking, maybe I'll do it on Facebook, try Skool. Okay, so that's all I'm asking is that you build on a platform that is built to sell so that you can actually grow and scale your coaching business. Now, like I said, we start on June 1st, so join now before the price goes up. It's only $33 for right now, and I will see you on June 1st. If you have any questions about the challenge or any questions about what we talked about during the last 3 days, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, I will see you in the challenge.